managing stress effectively in order to promote both physical and mental health. And you offer some strategies, right, for how to reduce stress. Can you give us an example, perhaps, for the audience? I will come to you for your questions, don't worry. I'm just taking you through the main lessons of the book. Yeah.
Can I say share?
Why not?
Share. You will accept?
Ji, why not?
All right. कह रहा है दरियाए शोर से, कह रहा है दरियाए शोर से समंदर का सकूत. To the river which is making noise, the sea which is silent and quiet, क्या कह रहा है? कह रहा है दरियाए शोर से समंदर का सकूत, जितना जिसका ज़र्फ है, डेप्थ, जितना जिसका ज़र्फ है वो उतना ही खामोश. Why I'm saying, your heart makes...
Still waters run deep would be the English equivalent. Anyway.
The heart makes lub dup. Everyone, girls, boys, everyone, they know heartbeat. But nobody knows about liver beats. The liver is the only organ which makes you de-stressed. Heart gives you stress. The liver de-stresses you. If you have a sound, healthy sleep, and the ways of de-stressing yourself are easy. They are not there. One of the easy ones which you all can practice from today, just while you are in the car, while you are sitting here, just take a deep breath and hold it, and 30 seconds or so, and keep watching. Can you do it 35 seconds, 36 seconds, 40 seconds? And you de-stress. There are two types of nervous systems, and it is given in the book very well. One is sympathetic, fight, flight, fear. सामने से कोई आ गया तो डर लग गया, गाड़ी आ गई, शेर आ गया. And the other is parasympathetic, which cools you, which yoga gives. So the moment you take deep breath, pranayam, which is very good, and hold your breath for some time, half your worries, de-stress is over. And the second thing is, do not eat when you feel you are under stress. I can give you a small example. When I was at Yale, long back, 88, so I had to do some statistical work. And there was a guy who was a statistician. I went to him, and he said, let's start working. So we started from 4 p.m. in the afternoon till 12. Then he said, let's go to the Yale computer room and get a printout. We got a printout. It was 2:30. And I said, let's have a coffee, Larry. He was a 67-year-old Jewish guy. And I was a young worker. And he says, no coffee. I said, why? I said, I'm a bit tired. Let's have a coffee. And this is the message. He says, if you're tired, go for a walk. Coffee is for the taste of it. It's not to de-stress yourself. And I have learnt it. You wanted some example? One more example I'll give you.
Yeah.
So I joined All India Institute, and it was my third day as a resident. And I was taking the elevator to go to the 7th floor to Dr. Bhatia's ward. And here comes a stout, baldish man. And he said, तुम नए आए हो यहाँ पे? मैंने कहा, हाँ सर. कहाँ जाना है? 7th floor. मेरे साथ चलो. So we walked up the 7th floor. He deposited me in the ward. And then he says, अगली बार तुमने lift ली तो तुम्हारे टांग तोड़ दूंगा. Lift is for patients. Elevator is for patients. Doctors के लिए सीढ़ियाँ हैं. And he was the head of the medicine department. So that's how the life changed for me. He was Professor M.M.S. Ahuja, the best endocrine guy. So remember next time, my friends, lift is for patients.
And CDA for if you don't want to become a patient.
And CDA if you want to become a patient. Thank you.
No, that's very, very important. I must say, one of the amazing things about this book is that he has a chapter on how to avoid medication. Have you ever heard of a doctor telling you don't take medicines? And now this, I must admit, for me is counterintuitive because every doctor I've ever met, their solution to your problems, whatever the symptoms are, is to throw a medicine at it. Now tell us, first of all, how you came to this conviction that avoiding medication is important. But secondly, what you say to people saying, but I myself have a prescription that's about 20 items long, so that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, that's a very important thing, and I'm thankful you raised this point. Most people, slight headache, running nose, little loosey, and they will pick up a pill or so, whether doctor has said or not, which is not correct. Isn't your body strong enough to handle it? Have you tried your body? Have you actually tried? And I'll give you an example of a very famous photographer before, and that's how it started. It was Raghu Rai. Raghu,
Old friend of mine.
yeah, about in mid-80s, this guy had 105 fever. And he called me, Doc, can you come and just help me? And I went and saw him. He was 105 fever. And I thought, let him have some paracetamol. He said, I'll try myself and I'll use my mental power. And sure enough, in the morning, his fever was down. It doesn't happen every time. But what I'm telling you, if you are strong mentally, you can avoid medications. Use it only if it is extremely needed. And why, as a doctor, I'm telling you, I want you to make your body strong enough and not take pills unless necessary. For those who have blood pressure, those who have diabetes, yes, certainly. But you can avoid if you read this book carefully, because diabetes follows 15 years after fatty liver. The heart disease, 15 to 20 years after heart disease. So today, do you want to have diabetes? No. But if you have diabetes, you can reverse it. For those specified medical diseases, you actually need medications. But my message is that it is the fourth lifeline. वो होता है कौन बनेगा करोड़पति, अमिताभ बच्चन. The first lifeline is slim and fit. Second is what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat. And third, of course, is the restorative sleep. And the fourth last line, if you have failed all three, is medication. My job is to just tell you, own your body. Don't outsource to doctors.
Fantastic. Now that's on medicines, which obviously are introducing chemicals into your body and so on. What about supplements? Are you in favor of supplements? Vitamins, God knows, C,
How many of
D,
you
B12?
take supplements? Raise hands, please. What an important question. So all of you are poor people. You require government subsidy. Next time you take supplement, it is a subsidy. It's an extra thing you need. If you have good food, how many of you read about what are the benefits of natural food? If you read about it, you will not need any of these supplements. Yes, pregnancy. Yes, elderly people or those who have some difficulties should have supplements. Otherwise, please supplement your natural food with things which your body requires. Please read about that. And if you want some help, the book can give you some. Yeah, thank you.
Here's a very good book. I'm going to wrap this up with one last question, then we'll take it up from all of you because there's lots of you here. I suspect there'll be a lot of questions you'd like to ask. I'm assuming we have a mic for the audience, everyone, to come with questions. Okay. So the last question that I wanted, and there are lots of themes I haven't addressed. I had a long list of issues from the book I wanted to raise. Managing stress, preventive healthcare, that is that don't go around focusing on curing the problem, try and prevent it from happening, and that's going to be my final thrust. How to manage chronic conditions, how to age healthily, and of course, be aware of challenges in mental health. But let me come to preventive healthcare as the final question before we take your questions. Doc, the fact is that everyone knows that prevention is better than cure. That's a cliche in the English language, right? But the truth is that very often, the clues as to how to prevent an illness that you don't know you have or are about to get means that you don't prevent it. And then suddenly you discover you have some symptom. Your very first story in the book is about a young man at 26 who, without having ever been ill, turns out to have a very fatty liver and all sorts of complications arising from it. So tell us, give us some tips. How do we conduct preventive healthcare?
Yeah, very important question. And you said everyone knows, but I can tell you 9 out of 10 do not know preventive health. Let me start that the new science and which is covered here is that don't feed the baby in the first month in the night too often. Delay the feeding of the baby slowly from 3 hours or maybe 4 hours. It will prevent. Do not give the juices to the baby between first month to 6 month fruit juices. If you give the baby first month this juice or this juice, by 5 years the baby will get fatty liver. So remember all these tips. So the prevention starts right from birth and even prenatal. And then, how much time do you spend in the school? You know, father मेरा बड़ा वो है politician है, तो बच्चों को छुट्टी मिल जाती है PT से. In our time, PT or exercise was compulsory, but now the kids don't even go for exercise. So the second lesson is the integration of the exercise with food should be ingrained, so first 10 years. Now comes to those like 26 years, this is a true story of an IITian whose mother was there also as a professor, and this boy never knew when he was going to Harvard, he actually got a disease done. To all of you, prevention means just be aware what you should do, कौन से highway पे जाना है, कौन सी road पे जाना है, just read about yourself, invest. And those who already have disease can do. Just 2 more messages in health. Remember about your waist. The waist is the biggest culprit. Indians, sir, 20-year-old, lean and thin, but he got blood pressure. So your waist should be 80 centimeters for a female. I know most ladies here have 80 centimeters. I'm sure of it. I see Anupama sitting here. She has a waist 80 centimeter or less. And males, less than 90 centimeter is the waist. If you achieve this, you are by and large quite healthy at a young age. And if you have these black spots on your neck, the page 71, if you can show that, because this is one of the most important messages I want to give, preventive health. Are you a manufacturing defect? You can find out with this figure, if you can focus on this for people to see. If you have these black
velvety
lines,
line around the neck,
black lines on the neck,
metabolic
or you have some massage there, and you are born with defects for your metabolic ill health. You should know that. लोग कहते हैं पानी पीता है घी की तरह लगता है. And these are the people who even if it little this, then they have disease. So all those must prevent themselves because they are predisposed. But the khandani virasat mein. And the last important part of this is page 291 or 290, where I have mentioned 10 commandments. And I want this from my heart for you to see and read. Hum log, what we do is, my father was rich. So I got a house, I got a car, I got maybe $2 million or whatever it is. But have you ever asked, my father had BP, my mother has sugar, what will I get? So make a family tree of illnesses. Father, mother, grandfather, your wives. So what you are is because of your parents. What your wife is because of your parents. So now both of you, what will you transmit to the child is depending on your grandchild. So remember, have a gene patri, family virasat, rather than just the money that you get. Do you agree with it?
I see the point of it. It's too late for me, but yeah, I think.
Yeah, too late for you, but for your grandchildren.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
No, I do constantly keep telling my kids to be conscious of these things. So I'm, sometimes one learns lessons in life a bit late, but it's always worth learning. So I really want to recommend this marvelous book, Own Your Body by Dr. Shiv Sarin.